Today's topic we are going to discuss, that is producers equilibrium. This topic is belong to chapter 7 microeconomics, cost, revenue and producers equilibrium. Equilibrium means a state of balance. So we have to think when the producer will be equilibrium while they are producing goods and selling that in the market. Concept of producers equilibrium is a broad concept. It refers the stage where the producer is getting maximum profit with a given cost, and he has no incentive to increase or decrease the level of output. In other words, producers equilibrium refers to that price and output combination which brings maximum profit to the producer, and profit declines as more is produced. The basic motive of every producer is to maximize his profit, for which he has to minimize his cost of production because he has limited resources and limited market. The producer's behavior is driven by two contrasting economic factors. Every producer tries to maximize his level of production with a given level of factors of production. Second, every producer has limited resource at a given point of time. So we can say the producer's equilibrium is derived at a point where maximum production is achieved at a given level of money or material resource. This producer's equilibrium concept is related to total revenue and total cost, because the total revenue and total cost will decide the profit. Profit refers to the excess of receipts from the sale of goods over the expenditure incurred on producing them. So profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. We can see three situations related to profit. One situation is that total revenue is greater than total cost. This is a situation where the firm is enjoying abnormal profit. Another situation is total revenue equal to total cost. This is a situation which is known as the firm is enjoying normal profit, because normal profit is a part of total cost. Next one is total revenue is less than total cost. This is a situation the firm is enjoying subnormal loss. Here profit will be negative. Two approaches of producers equilibrium. One is TR-TC approach, another one is MR-MC approach. First of all, we can see TR-TC approach. According to this approach, the producers equilibrium has two conditions. The difference between TR and TC is maximum, and even if one more unit of output is produced, then the profit falls. In other words, the marginal cost becomes higher than the marginal revenue if one more unit is produced. Here you can see the diagram. The explanation is given here itself. The x-axis shows the level of output and y-axis shows the total cost and total revenue. TC is the total cost and TR is the total revenue. So P is the equilibrium point where the distance between TR and TC is maximum. See the diagram. While a firm is producing the output at OM level, TC and TR is equal. Before, TC was greater than TR. That means while more and more unit of output we are producing, that time the cost will come down and it will be equal to TR. This is a break-even point, we can say. And again, this firm is producing goods after M quantity of output, and you can see at a point MP, that is the point E is the equilibrium. There TC curve and TR curve is having more distance. This is the maximum gap we can see. This is the area where the producer is getting maximum profit. If they are producing again after M, the difference between TC and TR will come down, or it will decrease. That time we have to say the profit is decreasing. So at a point equilibrium, if they are producing M quantity of commodity, Now we can say the profit is more or maximum, that is PE is the profit enjoyed by that firm. Only this point, if while they are producing quantity of output at M, the firm will enjoy maximum profit. So see, this is the point where the producer is having equilibrium. MCMR approach, marginal revenue, marginal cost approach. MRMC approach is derived from TRTC approach itself. The two conditions of equilibrium under the MRMC approach are MR equal to MC, MC cuts the MR curve from below. MR is equal to MC. This is the essence. If one additional unit of the output is produced, then marginal revenue is the gain and marginal cost is the cost to the producer. As long as MR is greater than MC, it is profitable to produce more. Therefore, the firm has not achieved an equilibrium level of output where the profit is maximum. This is because the firm can increase its profit by producing more. On the other hand, if MR is less than MC, then the benefit is less than the cost. Therefore, the producer is not in an equilibrium. Either he can reduce the production or to add to his profit. When MC equal to MR, the benefit is equal to the cost. The producer is in equilibrium provided that MC become greater than MR beyond this level of output. Therefore, for a producer's equilibrium, MC is equal to MR is a necessary condition but not sufficient. MCMR approach you can see here from the diagram itself. While a firm is producing OQ quantity of output, before that MC was greater than MR, more cost than more revenue. But at OQ1 quantity of output, at a point R, MC is equal to MR. This is the point we can say a break-even point, cost is equal to revenue. But again they are producing more quantity of output, the MC curve is falling and MC and the MR difference is more. While MC is equal to MR is necessary for equilibrium, but it is not sufficient. This is because the producer might face the more than one MC equal to MR output. Out of this, only that output beyond which MC becomes greater than MR is the equilibrium output. This is because if MC is greater than MR, then producing beyond MR is equal to MC will reduce the profit. Also, when it is no longer possible to add profit, the maximum profit level is reached. On the other hand, if MC is less than MR, beyond the MC MR output, then the producer can add profit by producing more. Therefore, for the producer's equilibrium, it is important that MC should be equal to MR. Also, MC should be greater than MR if more output is produced. M3, broad money. M3 consists of all currency notes held by the public, all demand deposits with the bank, deposits of all the banks with the RBI, and the net time deposits of all the banks in the country. So, M3 is equal to M2 plus net time deposits of bank. M4. M4 is the widest measure of money supply that the RBI uses. It includes all the aspects of M3 and also includes the savings of the post office banks of the country. It is the least liquid measure of all of them. So M4 is equal to M3 plus post office savings. It should be noted that currency includes both paper currency and coins. Demand deposits includes only net deposits with the bank. Other deposits, that means OD, includes demand deposits of financial institutions, foreign banks and government. And also it includes IMF, World Bank, etc. M1 and M2 measure narrow money, whereas M3 and M4 measure broad money. M1 is the most liquid and M4 is the least liquid. In that cost analysis, the most important point what we are discussing here related to profit is the break-even point. The break-even point refers to the level of output at which total revenue equals to total cost. Management is no doubt interested in this level of output. However, it is much more interested in the broad question of what happens to profits or losses at various rates of output. Break-even analysis seeks to investigate interrelationships among the firm's sales revenue or total turnover, cost and profits as they relate to alternate levels of output. A profit maximizing firm is initial objective is to cover all the costs and returns, thus to reach the break-even point and make net profit thereafter. About the diagram, y-axis is having cost and revenue, x-axis is having quantity of output. You can see here FC. FC is the fixed cost here. Whatever the output we are producing, it will fixed cost will be same. So the fixed cost curve is parallel to x-axis. 45-degree curve you can see, that is the TR, total revenue curve, and TC is the total cost curve. When zero output we are producing, that means TC is equal to FC. That means when output is zero, that time fixed cost is there. Then while we are producing more and more unit of output, till the break-even point, the total revenue will be less than total cost. This is the area the firm is facing loss. But at a point of equilibrium, the total cost is equal to total revenue. This is the break-even point. After this break-even point, the firm is producing more and more unit of output. That time total revenue will be more than that total cost. This is the area the firm is enjoying profit. These are the important questions from this module. Explain the concept of producer's equilibrium. Second, what is profit? What are the three situations of profit? Explain with the diagram TC-TR approaches of producer's equilibrium. Again, explain with the diagram MC-MR approaches of producer's equilibrium. Question number 5, explain break-even point with the help of a diagram.